You are watching Fugitive Red-Eye, and welcome back to Flashbacks, the series where I look at nostalgic bits from my past. Since it's October, I thought it fitting to do something else Halloween-themed, or at least somewhat horror-themed. This book is a collection of 3 books, actually, all 3 of which I read as a kid, and many of my friends did as well. And this was a big part of our childhood, and this is the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark series. This is the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark Treasury collection that, as I mentioned, has all 3 books. This is what the original covers of the 3 books looked like, if I can get it into focus. I definitely recommend reading this book, but I recommend you get this version, the Treasury or the 3 original releases. If you get the new releases, they're not as good because they change the artwork. When you look at some of this original artwork, it's dark as fuck. And, these stories are all really good and nostalgic to go back, but the stories themselves were never really that scary. They're basically just urban legends and folklore, kind of adapted for this book. But the pictures are what made it really creepy. I mean, seriously, look at this motherfucker. And this sort of shit, I mean, I'm not the only one who got scared shitless of that face as a kid, right? I mean, to be fair, I wasn't super scared, I just thought it was cool. I didn't really scare as easily as a kid. I mean, I did. But I really enjoyed these pictures. This was one of my favorites of the pictures in the book. But the ones in the new book just aren't that good in the new editions. They basically used Brett Helquist. He's the guy who did the art for A Series of Unfortunate Events. But the artwork in this is just timeless classics, and I honestly don't think it should have been replaced in the newer edition. And remember, these were kids' books, and some of these pictures are dark as fuck. But I do think that the dark, creepy nature of it was something that we needed as kids. It was fun, and it really made our childhoods more interesting, having stuff like this, or Courage the Cowardly Dog, Goosebumps, Are You Afraid of the Dark, all sorts of things like that. They were great to grow up with, and the creepiness just added to the fun, telling ghost stories around the fire or around the playground. That sort of shit was part of my childhood, and that's what made these books so memorable. So, they're very memorable to me, and I really do think that people shouldn't overlook them. And if you haven't read them for whatever reason, I recommend you do. They're very good. But again, this has been Fugitive Red-Eye. Let me know what you think in the comments. Did you guys read these as a kid? Did they scare you? Did they not? What do you think? What do you think of the new artwork? It's not that good in my opinion, but what do you think of it? But as always, you have a great day.